Hare Krishna. We'd like to invite all of you all to this spiritual inspiration program. Today, we're going to be discussing a very beautiful uh, series of stories of Lord Jagannath. And today, being International Yoga Day, we're going to meditate on a very beautiful name of Lord Jagannath, which is known as Sada Yogi. What is the meaning of this word, Sada Yogi? The word Sada Yogi means the one who is constantly awake and absorbed in the welfare of his devotees, and he's always trying to heal the devotees. That's the meaning of the word Sada Yogi. Today, we're going to see a series of stories of how Lord Jagannath is Sada Yogi, and he's constantly awake and trying to heal his devotees from various complications and issues. And I'm going to tell you a series of stories of Lord Jagannath that have happened in the recent past. When we hear stories of ancient times, we begin to think that maybe these stories were true in the olden times, but it may not be true today. These stories that I'm going to share with you all happened after 2000. That means, after the year 2000 onwards, there are several stories that have happened of Lord Jagannath. Specifically, we're going to talk about one particular Jagannath in Rajapur and Mayapur, which is considered to be a very, very powerful form of Lord Jagannath. In the year 2006, there was a family that came to the temple of Lord Jagannath, and they wanted to offer a golden tulsi leaf to Lord Jagannath. So the pujari was a little, curious to know why they are offering a golden tulsi leaf specifically. So he asked them, and they explained that they had been married for the last 10 years. But in spite of being married for the last 10 years, they didn't have any child. And they had prayed, some time back to Lord Jagannath, saying that if they have a child, they will offer a golden tulsi leaf to Lord Jagannath. And exactly within 1 year of offering that prayer, they conceived, they had a child. And this family came here to Lord Jagannath to offer this golden tulsi leaf as a mark of gratitude. The pujari took that golden tulsi leaf from the family and placed it on the forehead of Lord Jagannath as an adornment and as a mark of gratitude from the family. One time, there was a local Muslim family that lived in that Rajapur area, and they had two children, a son and a daughter. Unfortunately, due to some situation, both the children became almost blind. The family spent a lot of money going to the biggest of eye specialists trying to get their children cured. But no matter how many specialists they were going to, they kept telling them it is impossible to cure the children. And the doctors had told them 75% they are going to lose their eyes within a matter of 1 year. And there was practically no cure that they had, no solution that they had. So this family tried everything, and ultimately someone told them to go to Lord Jagannath. And this family went to Lord Jagannath and offered sincere prayers. And the mother prayed to Lord Jagannath that if you get the eyes of my children back, I will offer you a mirror. That's a tradition in Bengal. And within a very short time, both the children were completely cured of the blindness. And this Muslim family came with a mirror to offer to Lord Jagannath. In the year 2005, 2 days after Snan Yatra, this is the period of Snan Yatra right now, there was the pujari, usually after the Snan Yatra, period, Jagannath goes into a 15-day hibernation where he is completely considered to be sick and he doesn't give darshan to the world. And that is the period where the pujaris do all the work that is needed to be done on the deities. If any painting is needed, if a particular, a part of the deities is some damage is there, or whatever, work needs to be done in terms of painting, etc., the pujaris do it at that period. So in 2 days after Snan Yatra, the pujari had painted Lord Jagannath's form, and he had kept the form of Lord Jagannath, on to rest on a very comfortable, pillow and a bed. And then he had gone for the night. And in the middle of the night, midnight, he woke up with burning fever sensation. He didn't understand how suddenly he got so much of burning sensation. And he thought maybe he had done some offense to Lord Jagannath. And he began to read Bhagavad Gita in the middle of the night. The next day, when the Pujari reached the temple of Lord Jagannath, the watchman told the Pujari, I heard some strange noises coming from within the temple. So the Pujari asked him, what kind of noises were you hearing? The watchman said, I heard the noise as if someone is groaning and moaning in with high fever. So this watchman actually heard Lord Jagannath moaning and groaning in high fever. When a person is very, very sick, they make strange sounds. And that's exactly what the Pujari heard. What the watchman heard over here. And at the same time, the Pujari felt a sensation of burning in his own body. One time, there was a couple that had come to Mayapur, and they first visited the temple of Lord Jagannath. They explained to the Pujari that 3 years, they had first visited the temple of Radha Madhav in Mayapur. The couple explained to the Pujari that 3 years back they had offered a prayer in Mayapur to Lord Jagannath that if they have a child, they will come and offer their gratitude to Lord Jagannath again. Exactly 1 year later, they conceived and they had a child, and now this child was 2 years old. And they brought this child for the first time to Mayapur. This child had never been to Mayapur. He had never seen a form of Lord Jagannath. He had no idea what Lord Jagannath. He was just 2 years old. He was not even able to speak. So when they brought this child in front of the altar of Radha Madhav, this child spontaneously began to say, Jagga, Jagga, Jagga. The Pujari didn't understand what it meant. The parents didn't understand what that meant. And the Pujari pointed out to Radha Madhav and he asked the child, look, Radha Madhav, are you happy? The child said no. Pujari was a little confused. And then, the parents took the child to Panchatattva altar. And the Pujari again, looked at the child and the child was saying, Jagga, Jagga, Jagga. And the Pujari pointed out to Panchatattva and he asked the child, are you happy? The child said no. And then, they took him to Narsingadev. Again, the child was saying, Jagga, Jagga, Jagga. And again, he said, I'm not happy. And finally, they took him to the temple of Lord Jagannath in Rajapur. And the moment the child saw Lord Jagannath, he became so happy and ecstatic. He began to shout out, Jagga, Jagga, Jagga. And finally, the Pujari understood what this child was trying to say. He was trying to call out to Lord Jagannath because he was not really able to pronounce properly. He was saying Jagga, Jagga. But that showed how much, because the parents had prayed to Lord Jagannath before they had conceived the child. And this child was a blessing of Lord Jagannath, how much influence and how much affection the child had towards Lord Jagannath, who was the source of his birth. And this way, we see so many stories like this of how Lord Jagannath reciprocates with his devotees very much. Lord Jagannath is called Sada Yogi because he's always awake and waiting to heal his devotees from all sorts of trauma and pain, from all sorts of tribulations. And he is always keeping his eyes open. If you notice, most deities of the Lord, whatever form of the Lord you can see, whether it is Radha Krishna, whether it is Lakshmi Narayan, whether it is Lord Narsingadev, whether it is Panchatattva, or any other form of the Lord, you will always find the Lord having eyelids that he can close if he wishes to. So the deities are always made with eyelids. But Jagannath is the only form of the Lord which does not have eyelids. If you notice, Jagannath, there are no eyelids, of Lord Jagannath. So he cannot close his eyes. Why Jagannath does not have eyelids? The reason Lord Jagannath does not have eyelids is because he prefers to keep his eyes open, constantly watching over his devotees, constantly being awake for his devotees. And therefore, Lord Jagannath is called as Sada Yogi. Let us all pray to Lord Jagannath on this International Yoga Day. While the whole world is doing asanas and all different forms of yoga, let us have our own International Yoga Day by celebrating and by worshipping Sada Yogi, the one who is an eternal and one who is a yogi forever. Thank you very much. Jai Jagannath.